competed in the very first Grappling Pro Championship today. What did you think of the overall action, the rule set, how the rules changed the grappling action, and if you think that's for the better or?
Sure. So what they were trying to do with this event is to try to more closely relate the event to a mixed martial arts scenario, or smooth the transition between jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts, because the promoter of the event and some of the people supporting the event believe that people in jiu-jitsu have a difficult transition sometimes to mixed martial arts. I see the vision, I get what they were trying to do, but as with most tournament formats, the easiest path to accruing advantage, whether it be points, advantages, takedowns, push-outs, whatever the case may be, is usually what tends to be accentuated most when it comes to a particular rule set. So for instance, because it tends to be a little bit easier to score points by pushing somebody out of bounds as opposed to sweeping them, taking them down, whatever the case may be, you're going to see a little bit more of that accentuated in this tournament. What I believe is that this tournament was more closely related to freestyle wrestling rules, or perhaps Greco. If they wanted to more closely relate it to MMA, the best they could do would be to add a cage. That changes everything. Push-outs don't really quite relate to ring control, because in ring control you deal with wall wrestling on a cage, which is like an entirely different sport. If you really wanted to turn this organization based on their vision, you would put it inside of a cage and make it grappling inside of a cage. It's a little difficult to do. A few organizations have done it, but I think it would make it more realistic towards that vision. Push-outs aren't really, in my opinion, related to MMA too much. Interesting rule set. I added a few different things to my game, little strategy things. But yeah, that's what I think of the event overall.
Okay. You had some great matches today. Your last one with Enrico was probably the most entertaining for the fans. He seemed to not take his corner's advice and continue moving forward, and trying to get the submission rather than just winning on points.
I knew the match with Enrico was going to be more like a jiu-jitsu match than the other matches that I had today, because I know he believes in his heart that his jiu-jitsu matches up to mine or to anybody's really. I know he thinks that's how he could win, and that's he's a submission grappler. That's what he tries to do, is he tries to submit people. So I knew for the most part that that's how the match was going to be. He did a little bit of disengaging based off of his corner's advice, and I don't think it was in his heart to do that. He went back and forth between trying to listen to them but engaging at the same time, and I appreciate that, because this is what we're here to do, is submission grappling, and find out who's a better grappler and things like that, not who can kind of score points and then move out of the way and things like that. I'm not going to pretend like I never tried to play the rules today either. In certain matches I did that as well. Even in the match with Enrico, I did a little bit. So at the end of the day, when you're competing, part of it is strategy, but part of it as well as it's a professional event. So if you want to continue to keep events professional, they have to be exciting. People have to want to watch. Money has to get poured into them from somewhere. Somebody, even if it's just one person that's wealthy, has to want to see this happen. Otherwise, it's not going to be a professional event. Nobody's going to get paid. So a big part of this is trying to make things exciting. I don't know if allowing push-outs for an event is necessarily the best route to do that in our sport. There's some interesting elements to it, but if I was the promoters of the event and that was my vision, to create a professional event that everybody wanted to see, I'd probably eliminate that part of the rules.
And what are your plans for the rest of the year?
Plans for the rest of the year. I should be competing against. I guess I can't talk about it yet because it's a match. No, I know, but the match is in negotiations. There's supposed to be a match with Polaris. There was a couple matches that were going to happen, and it didn't really come together. There's somebody that I'm supposed to be fighting in Polaris that fights at 155 weight class and is refusing to make a day before weigh-in cut to 170 to have a match with me, which I find to be just ridiculous. So maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. I'm probably going to blast them on social media pretty soon. I just have to find out exactly what's going on. Gordon's supposed to be having a match with Claudio Calisans, which is probably not going to happen now because the guy wants $9,000 in cash, even though he signed a contract that said he was going to get it in cash, in check form. So apparently he's not going to fight for that. So Gordon's probably going to try to find some way to put up his own money or something to fight the guy. Because all these guys just want to try to find some way to back out of these matches. So I don't know. I'm going to continue to try to find the most difficult people to compete against. It's hard for anybody to say that that's not what I'm doing. I compete in every rule set. I try to seek out the most difficult opponents. I fought Paul Harris. I don't know, what more do you guys really want? I'm trying to get as best matches as I can. People in my weight class are just downright refusing to fight me. So I'm looking at even heavier guys most of the time. So we'll see what happens. I just continue to keep pushing forward, keep trying to win. I'm going to keep competing in some of these events. I'll probably compete in Nogi Worlds. The only thing that would stop me is maybe cornering Gordon in EBI, because he does stand a chance to win $20,000, but John might be there. We'll see what happens. There is a absolute Zapatero event that's happening here in Florida. I forget the town, but I'll probably be a part of that as well. I hear Cyborg might be in it, some big names maybe, as well as Gordon. So that's the only other one that I know. Maybe that's in January, December, not 100% sure. But other than that, that's it.
All right, sounds good. Great job today.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate
anybody
it.
you want to thank or mention?
Thanks to all my sponsors, Chimera Coffee, Armbar Soap Company, Studio 540. These guys really helped me out. And also looking for a clothing sponsor. If anybody wants to, to sponsor me for gear, let me know. We're in negotiations right now. Even though I'm the most active grappler that I know of, competing multiple times a month, sometimes main card on fights, and winning almost every single time. Somehow they won't give me as much money as other guys that compete once a year. So I don't know. We'll see. If a gear sponsor wants to give me what I deserve, I'm here. Call me. Contact my manager. Other than that, thanks to all my teammates and my students and everybody that supports me in training and everything like that. It's always a great ride, and always great to have you guys in my corner. And I couldn't do it without the support of my team, my family, my friends, and my students.
Thank you.
Yeah.